recording. Okay, we're good.
Okay. Am I starting? Is this on?
Yes,
Okay.
I think so.
Session 2 is what I'm dubbing this one.
Man,
so
can you believe
you
it's
guys,
session 2 already?
I know. It's
yes,
crazy.
right. The 10th of Flugzeit, Marktag 2520 Imperial Calendar is the date. As the night, tips over after you have left the camp the previous day, your militia camp, after being on watch and being told not to leave your post and to let camp know if anything was happening. You guys came to a conclusion that you were going to leave at some point between Yem, Ranulph, and Quentin, but you would wait for Vassar and Rosie, who were sick back in camp with night fever that was running through the camp. But then they showed up, hearing that you guys were on watch for the night, and they said they wanted to leave because they also were not equipped for that. But oddly enough, they both had lost their voices because of the night fever as well. And so you all made an escape, went down the river, and before doing so, made it hopefully seem like some weird chaosy thing happened and snatched you up.
Oh, we did.
Yeah, and as you got down, as you were going down the river, and at first walking and then kind of bobbing along for a bit as you found some detritus that would help you along the way, heard a horn off in the distance from the area of the camp, assuming that they found out you were gone. Whether they thought it was a chaos situation or not, well, we don't know. But they know you're gone, if nothing else, probably, because you're not there. And you guys decided to, after a bit, especially because Rosie in particular, but Foster as well, were getting tired. And it was a little cold. Not the coldest, but it wasn't a warm night. Get out of the river and take some refuge in the middle of some hills of Averland, and not light a fire because didn't want to attract any attention. But huddle up for warmth and wet and cold, huddling together as the night goes on in Averland. This is where we start session 2, and the floor is yours.
Were we keeping watches? I don't remember. Have we talked about that?
I think there was a possibility there might have been a watch, but I don't totally recall. Let me check my notes.
I seem to remember asking the question if Boomer could help with the watch. I don't know. I can't remember what we decided to do though.
I mean, I don't know if you guys really did take a camp. You'd estimate it. It's sometime deep in the night. You've been traveling for a number of hours. I think I counted it at about 4 or 5 hours. So, and you left maybe about an hour or so after dark.
Yeah. So I mean, it was the middle of the night.
Right? Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know if anything was established as far as like if you would take a watch. So you guys can discuss that now if you team. So
I feel like I remember saying we were going to take watches.
Well, who feels like taking the last one? Because that may be all that matters right now.
Isn't that... What skill is that?
I mean, it seems like perception.
Yeah, I would say perception.
I think mine was really quite terrible, so I don't know that I want to volunteer for
Okay.
that.
Well, let's say I took it. So I just sort of look around,
Mhm.
decide that there's enough light in the sky, and just start gently kicking them all to wake them up. And just kind of,
Is this going to be before or after sunlight?
Probably, let's say as dawn is creeping in.
Okay.
So light in the sky, but not full
Okay.
dawn yet.
Okay. Well, as you can kind of see a little bit better, obviously, since in the middle of the night, you couldn't see a whole lot. But as you kick them awake, you see these nice green rolling hills for you as you are in this divot here. And as you can see, there's not a tree really to be found in this area.
Yeah, that's not good. I'm going to, while I sort of leave them to start getting their wits together, I'll sort of slink low to the ground and climb back up the hill that we sort of hid behind from the river, and just see if there's any sign of army folk along the riverbank.
Give me a along the riverbank.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a perception. At I would say just average because of the hills.
Seriously, I had a 70 to hit.
Yeah, you did. I mean, yeah, like you don't see anything like as
Okay.
far as
So
soldiers
that's
or
good.
yeah.
Okay, I'll just sort of creep back down the hill.
Okay.
So I don't see anything. I think we're probably safe for now. I think the river probably did us some good. Though obviously everything is very wet.
Yeah, you guys would still be moist. It might, it wouldn't be necessarily as bad as what it was, but it's still kind of cloying and not the most comfortable.
Was it winter time?
No, it's spring. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why. I saw winter somewhere on one of my notes.
No, it's okay. Yeah, I mean it's like this is kind of a mid spring month. But you are sort of you're in the foothills of some mountains. So the nights can get a little chilly.
As I look over, I see that Vasa does not appear to be scratching quite so feverishly as Rosie. I just sort of gently prod Vasa as well. Like, you feeling better?
I will say, Vassar, you notice that your voice is back. So you believe you can speak.
Yes, I'm feeling much better. This is my voice now.
Oh,
The Night's Plague has some permanent damage.
that is intense. Okay. Let's maybe try and find an herbalist or something. Something for your throat. Where to go from here? Further south, I suppose.
If you could please refresh my memory. I'm having a hard time recollecting, as if I feel like I wasn't myself prior.
Right. So It was not very much a good plan. I believe my focus, as I explained to the others, well, and to you, of course, was that the most important thing about running is what you're running from, not where you're running to. So we focused more on the running away rather than where we were running to. We did at least decide not to run straight towards the mountains where the Greenskin Horde is amassing. But yeah, we've headed southwest, following the river. Well, literally, insofar as floating on the river, but taking the river down, and then maybe we can get into Visenland. I think that would be good. Hopefully, well, really, we just need to keep away from recruiters, to be honest, because it would be a frightful shame for us to, escape one army and just end up in another.
Yeah, I guess. Are we wearing anything? I mean, we're wearing our own clothes, right? We weren't given any uniforms, right, or any
Nope.
identifying.
You
okay.
guys,
Just making sure.
no. Yeah, the only thing you were given by them outside of the food you would get every day, they gave you those 3 spears right
Steak.
before. Yeah, they were basically steaks. Yeah,
Fancy sticks.
Right before you guys ended up getting out, because they had said they were going to be giving you them for a while, and they had never come until that point. So you never really got the training on them that you should have. So
Explains why we don't know how to use pole arms.
yes.
Hmm.
So
There was talk about being able to use them, just not well, right?
yeah, once we discovered that you can use them, you just don't get the bonus for it, which for that one is improved critical chances, because that way you can. It's a weapon, but since you don't know how to use it, you just don't get the full benefit.
Okay.
And the 3 that would have them would be the ones who were on watch and not sick.
I have one. I think I even know how to use it vaguely. And it's twice as good as my dagger, so, that's good.
You should certainly know how to use it. You stick the pointy end into your opposition.
Yes. Indeed.
Well, if we are ready, I suppose we should resume moving away.
So Rosie gets up at this point, and she still looks pretty tired. Like she nods and indicates that she can go along, but she points to her throat and just gives you a little bit of a cut sign and shakes her head like it's still not there.
Now, do we understand what that means when she does like this?
Yeah, does she just not want to go on anymore?
Or does she want us to cut her throat because she's had enough?
Yeah, well, that's, I guess, make a perception check.
Or is she threatening
Well,
us?
make a perception check with I'll give it a very easy perception check. And you could probably get bonuses from people too on this one, because there you go. Very easy.
My target was 110.
Yeah, so there you go. That's how easy it was to figure out that you can tell she's doing all right. I mean, she looks tired, but like she can't speak.
Wasted a crit on that.
Hey man, it could have been like the Eska situation where it was like, oh, she's trying to kill me.
I mean, I figured it would be fun to revisit that nonsense.
Yeah, right. So so she gets up and she's ready to go too.
Okay.
I'll kind of help her up too, just like having spent some time with her. I'll just continue to sort of bridge the gap.
Okay.
Also, having been infected, so
Okay.
kind of makes a
Okay.
semi sense. But
Sounds good.
So I don't know who is better at this than me, but I'm not really very you know, I was good at as far as get to the river and use that, but beyond that, I'm kind of useless out in the wilds. I'm a lot more at home in the city. Is anyone here better at you know, picking out a good route to go in the wilderness?
you should have known me, or you have known me for long enough. You should understand. Can't get my accent down.
Mhm.
That this is my sort of my environment.
Well then, please lead on.
I suppose where are we going once more?
Just southwestish.
Well, that's easy, and I point southwestish. It's this way.
I'm not going to argue.
Yes, directly between south and west, just where we left.
Yep.
Yeah, Quentin's following too because he's like used to cities and sewers and stuff, but this is not his specialty.
That whole
either.
sky thing just really throwing him off.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So we'll say that at this point, you know, you were probably feeling a bit hungry, because you would have eaten the night before at camp. But you know, it's been a little while from that, so you'll get a little bit of a hunger pang as you guys are waking up.
And we don't have any kind of like rations or anything.
You'd have to. It would actually say in your starting equipment because they that's a thing.
You know, I have nothing.
Where is starting equipment?
Go to probably go to combat, and you'll have under your trappings.
I've got a lot of things I can put food in,
Mm.
but not food.
You can see Rosie looks in her pouches and just shakes her head sadly. No food.
Perception check to know what that means. Just kidding. We could be here all
Yeah,
day.
right.
Well, I suppose we could. I mean, we're still near the river, right? So we could try and see if maybe there's some fish in the river. And I kind of look hopefully at Vasa when I say that.
I'll smile at him and head over to the river and see if my if I get a good sense about food or using the water as a if it's the best means of providing sustenance. As long as I don't need fishing gear. I
Right.
don't know if I have fishing gear.
Don't you you have some sort of ability with that, don't you? Thought you did.
I thought that you had mentioned something about me being maybe it was just survival,
Mm-hmm.
the outdoor survival basic skill.
I think you should have a fishing rod and bait from your trappings. There's a green
I
fish.
apologize because it's been so long.
No,
since
no. That's fine.
I looked at my character.
I
in the
don't
book.
actually don't see that actually with you.
No, I mean I could always assume that I would know the wilderness like
No,
next to
yeah,
the
no.
waters a little bit.
Yeah, that's definitely what I would go for, but for some reason, whenever I thought that you had a talent that or something, a skill that was
You
like
might have mentioned
fishing.
it, and I never bought it because I have tons of experience to do stuff with. I just hadn't distributed any of it yet.
Okay,
That's
so
what that was about.
okay. Let me see. Let me go to where that's at real quick.
I'll check her message log.
I have a sling bag with lunch.
Lunch. There we go.
So I'm good, but I'm assuming it's just the one lunch.
Doesn't say lunches.
Yeah, I mean, you would know that it would be enough for you to be content. You could share, and it would mean you guys wouldn't starve. But like as far as this is great, we're good for the day type meal, no.
Yeah, you mentioned fisherman talent.
Okay. Was that one that you wanted, or were you still considering it?
I'm still considering. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Analysis paralysis.
No, that's fine. What we'll do then is for you, we'll do an outdoor survival check. And let's see. Everybody does have a form of outdoor survival that is a basic skill. So I will give it a challenging, but you can give a bonus of if everybody's helping. For every person who will say they will help you out, you will get a bonus.
I will help.
And Rosie shakes her head because she will help out with that too.
Yeah, me too.
All right. So it would be whenever you roll with challenging, but give yourself a bonus of 4.
Okay. And input value SL bonus 0.
Put for 40 on that.
40.
Mm-hmm. Oh my.
88. Critical fail.
Yeah. I mean, you're good with the brown rivers and streams and stuff like that, but it doesn't look like that this river has much to it. Like, doesn't look like there's any fish in it.
We are in an improper spot. There isn't much in the way of sustenance here. We may have to ride on empty stomachs just for a bit.
Oh, good. That's what I was hoping you would say.
They do say intermittent fasting is healthy for you. It's good for mental clarity.
My brain's fine, but thank you. As sharp as it's always been.
I can see by the look on your face. Are you okay?
I'm hungry. And I'd prefer not to be, stuck all the way out here. I'm not used to such open spaces.
They aren't that bad.
No, it is.
They're growing.
That is my point. It is very bad. I do not care for it at all.
Well, then perhaps we best be on our way.
Yeah, that might be good. Do that thing again where you point into the southwest. I've already lost it.
On a point southwest.
So, you guys will know that the basic southwest direction is with the river. It meanders down that way as well. So if you think that if you follow the river, you'll probably be going the direction you you kind of want to go.
I'm gonna go pick up some small river stones just to have them.
Okay.
Put like maybe a handful in my pocket, maybe like half of a golf ball sized stones. I'll get like 6 or 7 of them in my pocket.
All right. Just add that to your inventory so you have them.
Do I put that in trappings?
Mhm.
Okay.
It would go in one of your pouches even.
Ooh.
I know. Fancy pouches.
So I have a pouch. Is there a way that you can actually do you just put it under the description or?
No, like basically the way that I've kind of understood it is that having those helps with your encumbrance.
Okay. So I got a sling bag. I got a pouch. Could we, in theory, make the cloak a carrying device to also help with encumbrance? Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that if you kind of like
Sashed it.
yeah, like a sashed it and kind of almost made it like a hammock satchel
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, I could see that.
Interesting. Okay. And this is just a divinity original sin question. Can I put a bucket on my head for 1 armor?
No.
Okay.
No. Sorry.
I mean, you don't ask if you don't get if you don't ask, right? So.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's just it's just the bucket's not quite big enough, you know. It just you'd go to put it on and you're just like, that just doesn't fit.
So if you got the right size bucket,
Maybe.
or a custom fit bucket,
This bucket's more like a wooden.
We need to go to a
fez.
bucketeer.
yeah, don't give up so
Yeah,
easily.
right. Yeah.
Is a
Bucket's
bucketeer
not
a
famous.
bucket maker or a wearer of buckets?
¿Por qué no los dos?
Yeah, true.
So do you guys want to start moving down the river?
If there's no objection.
Yeah, no, let's get going. The sooner we get to town, the sooner we find food, the sooner I stop complaining.
Okay. So I would say give me a perception check. I'm not going to be so intense as last night in the game as far as that, but I just want to get a general perception for right now.
From everybody.
The way it kind of works in this, and I kind of actually do like this, is that one person does it, but if it's a skilled or unskilled, depending on what people have, you can help out. So an unskilled or a basic and advanced skill, you would be able to help out. So that's why you were able to get those bonuses, because the people were helping you out. So one person gets the roll. It's kind of like an advantage system with that. It just adds it in though. But that way it's like, okay, we all look together and we found it or we didn't find it type thing. As opposed to like multiple people looking at the same time and doing different rolls. So it tends to be whoever has like the best stat would roll with like assistance, and you guys would say, "Yeah, I'm helping out," whether you are or not, Because Yem didn't help out with the fish. Just a note.
Oh, that was noticed.
Awfully quiet. It's very different for him.
Exactly. But I'm just
yeah,
saying. So
Yem
like he
seems a
didn't get the
little,
extra.
Quiet this morning.
Is Yem just making a long list of puns? Is that why Yem's so quiet?
Maybe. Who can say?
I suspect I have the best perception. I have 50.
Is it higher than a 29? Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
I think we kind of determined last time that Quentin's perception is pretty terrible.
One.
He's got some
terrible.
attention issues.
Yeah,
Is this-
he's used to being underground.
Average challenging.
I would say average. And you could probably, because considering that everybody is going to be, looking around to a certain degree, you can add a +4.
So now, is this literally 4 or is it 40?
I think it might be 40.
Okay.
So I'm saying 4 is low, but I think it kind of depends on the software too.
Right. Okay, well, I
So,
got 42, and I needed 110 again.
well, whatever. I mean, it's a bright clear day.
Yeah.
So it's not like and with everybody kind of, you're not hiding in the river, and the river is a little bit tucked down because as with the hills kind of going down into this, you can tell this river kind of like really hung on to the bottom, obviously, of the hills and just kind of meanders. And so you're not down in the bottom of that, so you can actually see. And so being on the kind of the top of the hills. Are you guys trying to sneak around, or are you just gonna?
I mean, I feel like we need to probably keep a low profile.
Okay. I wouldn't say you're out in the middle of the open, so I'm not going to ask for a stealth right now. But
There is only open, right? There is only
there's
open, though,
only
right?
open. Like the best you could do would be to try to like stick in between some of the hills, like not be on the top, or go back down towards the riverbank. So however you wanted to do that. Because in my mind, I just saw you guys at the top of the hills, but I should probably clarify where you guys are. So where would you like to? Would you like to scurry at the foot of the hills by the river?
The foot is my
Yeah.
preference.
Yeah, same.
If we are not attempting to be seen.
I'm nervous that they may even send riders out, trying to figure out what happened after the impressive mess that Yam made. I think they will be concerned.
Okay. Well, then guys can you start to move southwest. You're kind of following the basic run of the river to help guide your way so you don't get lost, and just stick to the foot of the hill that you're at, just meandering your way. Don't hear anything really. So because with this, such a success of your ears are pricked too, not just your vision. Everything's going pretty well. You just don't have anything that's freaking out too much. It's pretty quiet, this area. You don't have anything that's in immediate danger.
While we're marching, every now and then, can I take a maybe like an expedited just peek for food, not to slow us down, but
Yes, because if you will know that if you don't eat throughout the day, it's going to really cut into your movement. At a certain point, your energy is just going to get shot. So you can look around again in this part of the river.
so what would this outdoor survival?
Yeah, I would say another outdoor survival check. After a little bit of walking down, you would do that again whenever you think that it's like, this is another area, like a bend or something that kind of draws your attention.
Okay, challenging.
Yes.
I can help.
And
I can try to help.
It's fine. So give it a
so target
+10.
+10.
And so I ignored the SL bonus and just put it in the regular bonus, and that seemed to work. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
So
37.
you see some fish through here. They look they look good. So you think you might be able to catch some if you figure out a way to do so, because you don't have a fishing rod or anything, right?
No. But I was thinking perhaps a spear or a sharp stick.
I have one of those.
Let me see that.
Actually, Quentin will give him his because Quentin has the. I'll tell him you can hang on to it for a little bit. I have, and he kind of shows everybody the little sling he's got. So
Oh, useful.
What what did Quentin look like again?
Covered in filth, pretty much. But like basically, I picture him as like having really crappy stuff, but doing his best and spending a lot of time of like patching it and trying to make it look fancier than it is. But he's like 27, 5'11", brown hair, green eyes, has like well, I guess for a flavor leather cap. I don't know that it gives him any armor, but a big pack with a bunch of crap in it, like little like trinkets and stuff hanging on to it that he just finds in sewers and stuff. Oh, and just in general, he kind of like he's not used to having friends, so he doesn't normally. He's kind of just getting used to having people that actually pay attention to him and talk to him. So he just kind of looks down a lot and doesn't assume conversation is like involving him unless somebody like brings him into it intentionally.
Okay, well, that's kind of a big deal that he offered his spear.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Quentin. No worries. I will return this shortly.
Oh, sure. Yeah, you can keep it. I'm just glad I could help.
I'll head on over to the water and attempt to spear some fish.
I would say that it would be an attack roll. With probably hard.
Now, how do I do this?
Attack. Well, actually, you would need to put in a spear, I suppose.
Is that in the compendium?
Yeah. They're the only thing that you would not get from that, obviously, is the if you're not skilled in it, but you should be able to drag and drop it over. So you.
Okay, so there it goes. Yeah, spear, challenging. And I assume no bonus.
Again, so there's two other people that could help because they have spears.
I mean, I can try.
I'll try the first time without just.
Okay.
I'll sit back and watch, leaning on my spear. I'll put the pointy end down.
I throw your spear into the river.
Yeah. It's you throw it in there, like, and you really like you lose grip, and it goes into the river and it starts floating down.
Oh, so much for that.
No, I said, oh shit! I jump after it.
Okay.
It's important.
Okay. Yeah. So then you get it back, but you are wet again. obviously.
I'm in my element though.
All right.
Well, that wasn't exactly as intended.
I bet that didn't
Right.
scare any fish away or anything. Like I bet that was like
No.
probably attracted a bunch of fish too.
That is exactly. The fish aren't scared of loud noises.
Are you certain of that? It just seems like something they would be scared of, you know?
My head's going up and down. I say, no.
Well, my stomach sort of growls very loudly. If you could try again, or I suppose just maybe move downstream where all the fish just got scared too, and try again in a little while.
I'll nod my head. I'll wringing my cloak out.
Yeah, I was hoping the wind doesn't pick up, eh? That would be unfortunate.
I'll hand the spear back to Quentin. Perhaps you should hold this for now.
He takes it back. Clearly, not impressed.
Look.
He's like checking it for damage and stuff. It was pretty crappy spear to begin with, but
Yeah, I mean, it's just damp. No damage. So yeah, if you want to continue moving on, then for a bit you can.
are we having to go out of our? Are we able to kind of move in the direction we're wanting to and kind of keep close to the river? Is that
Yeah.
okay? So we're not like having to go way out of our way to do this.
No, because it's the kind of idea that from what I gathered, the thought process was if you travel down river, you would eventually run into another town.
Yeah, it rings a bell.
So yeah, I mean,
That's-
say maybe especially after the first look of the fish, you know, you traveled maybe like an hour or two. So then you can start up and the elements are basically the same here. Nothing. You know, every so often you'll see, you know, an outcropping of trees or, you know, some bushes, and it's a little bit more around the river too because there's more life that springs up from the water. And every so often you'll cross a creek that springs off, winding through the
You
hills.
said trees every now and then.
What's that?
You said trees every now and then.
Yeah, I mean you will see some, but like it's just, you know, like there's no major forest or anything. Just like every so often there'll be like a tree or here or there, maybe a small copse.
Will we have any idea about a town that was near, or like a river dwelling town or establishment that was like kind of southwest of us, on a rough estimate
So
of like, travel time?
you would have to. The only people who would know anything about that would potentially be Quentin and Yem. So I would ask them to give me challenging rolls for this would be a lore. I guess it would be intelligence because I think we determined that that's not something like the local lore thing was.
Oh yeah, because I don't have anything.
Most people didn't. Eli, this is something that I had said last time that I think that based upon, you know, where you're from, if you had taken a lore in something, it would give you more specialized knowledge. But if you're from an area, because they're both from Averland, so they're from this province, it would give you basic knowledge. So I would test on that. So in the more that you the more lore you take in a subject, the more you would know. But I wouldn't want to be like, oh, you don't know anything about this because you didn't take that particular skill.
I
So
critically failed, which I assume means my brain explodes.
no, you don't know this area very well. You didn't grow up in this area, so you got nothing.
Can you double check and make sure? No, definitely no brain explosion.
No brain explosion. Maybe like there's a bit of a pain though. You're like, you think about it, and you're like, oh man,
I'm
that
going to be
was
honest.
a weird
doesn't-
random pain.
Yem doesn't really care. He's not really listening right now.
There you go.
Step 1 of the brain explosion.
Yep.
Titanic.
Quentin, you can give one. You can give one too. Challenging.
So just do challenging intelligence.
Yes.
I think Yem actually did initiative, but I don't think it mattered.
Yeah, I think I made that mistake last week too.
Yeah. I want I to be intelligence, and it's just not.
No, it's int.
Yeah.
Right.
Just bad because I'm
And
really bad at those.
Yeah, 88 is pretty poor. Yeah, no, don't know. You think there's probably one down this way, but you've basically spent your whole life in Grenstadt in that area, and you just haven't gone out very much. You're like, I know, I've heard of towns down the river.
I mean, how many days could there really be between Grenstadt and the next place, right? I mean, it couldn't be that many, right? Right? Like, less than a week? Maybe just a day or two? I guess there's only one way to find out. And I'll just start trudging.
Yep.
Yeah. Carry on, I guess.
Yeah, so it's kind of a bit of the same, just the rolling hills with the occasional tree here or there.
What direction is the wind blowing? This is rooted in traveling, whether there's like smoke or
Oh, okay.
smells kind of yeah. Obviously, a town will have aroma coming from it, most likely.
It's coming, coming from the north.
Behind us. That's not good. I'm learning.
There's nothing in particular as a smell that catches your attention. Like you don't smell any like cooking food or a fire from like a hearth or anything. Nothing along that route.
Okay.
So sort of what, late morning now, give or take?
Yeah, I'd say so.
So I will do what I just did and actually pull my hood down and sort of ruffle my hair a little. It's a little unusual. Ranulph doesn't usually take his hood, lower his hood. But I sort of, taking a little bit of sunlight and appreciate the fact that I don't have to keep my hood up for a change.
Mm-hmm.
Just sort of turn around to Vasa and say, I'm kind of getting an appreciation for the outside.
Is that so?
Is anybody heard an army marching on us?
Yeah, we may be coming up on some sort of festival or something.
It definitely sounds.
Maybe they have funnel cakes.
I love funnel cake.
was hoping it was going to be slightly a little bit quiet and getting it in, but basically off in the distance as you guys are talking, you do start to hear some music off in the distance.
Hood immediately goes back on.
Did it go off?
That's
We
a
were just making so much progress.
No, my hood. I put my hood back on
Oh, okay.
and just
So
sort of
yeah,
lower my eyes again.
so yeah. I mean, you don't see anything because you guys are kind of in a in a gully, but you hear it off in the distance.
And I know we're hearing this.
Mhm.
Does it sound exactly like this, or does it sound like an Averland marching company?
Good question.
I'm not sure if you would really know if it was Averland or
Here's a
what.
question. Does it sound
Mhm.
like flutes and drums? Does it sound like an organ? Does it sound like
No, it
guitars?
sounds exactly like this.
Okay.
Okay, does this resemble anything in my like knowledge base, in my lore, or anybody else's if they're
The only person might be Yem.
I started looking around very nervously.
Yem has generally been trailing behind the group, grumbling to himself. On hearing this music, he says, "Get to cover!" and he dives into the nearest crevice he sees.
did he say it's a
I will
cover?
not hesitate. I will hide as best I can, as quickly as possible.
He starts kind of grabbing clumps of grass from around him and throwing it on top of himself.
I'm just sort of quaking generally at the
And
bottom of
he
the hill.
throws some on Ranulf as well.
Thank you.
Did you want to? Do you feel like you know anything about? Because based upon your background, do you know anything about marching music or anything like that?
It seems the kind of thing he might be interested in.
Okay. Okay. Well, then I will allow you to make a. I would say
An initiative check.
no. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Initiative. I'd say difficult check.
I wasn't so terrified. I'd quite appreciate this march.
No, it's a general
Yeah,
failure.
gosh. Yeah. Now you guys have not been rolling well. Now you don't recognize it.
I just
it's
worry
just-
that
it-
it sounds like. I mean, this sounds like. If it sounds exactly like this, I'm thinking this is quite a few people. This is not one person. So this panics me. I feel like this is a brigade of some kind.
So yeah, I mean, it just you hear it for a little bit. It's
Is it getting closer?
I mean, I would say it's not getting closer per se. It's just going by. Like it's in the same direction. Like it's basically if you could, it's not towards the river. It's away from the river. Like it's across like from one of the hills. Like on the other side of you. So like you haven't seen anything yet.
Yem stops throwing grass on himself. Looks up at the other guys who did not dive for cover at all and just standing there. Kind of gets up. And I guess he will sort of shrug and point to the top of the hill and kind of make a sort of sneaky looking action. Like, like a cartoonish sneaky action and kind of shrug.
Hmm. Okay, so if you're gonna go up, you can take a look.
Yeah, I think he's gonna sort of crawl in the grass to a point where maybe there's a vantage point.
Okay. That's fine. Yeah, you can go up and look, and you basically like, you kind of see off in the distance a bit that there's a flag. That's all you can basically see is a flag going by, and it's basically it's going the basic route of along kind of the reverse path of what you guys are taking.
So they're kind of heading back towards where we came from.
Yeah, from where like the Grinch area.
Does the flag look familiar? I dare to ask. Assuming that it doesn't.
Does it look familiar? You could make I'd say a very hard check on that.
Did I mention that Yem loves flags and has spent his whole life studying them?
No, you didn't. What is it, vexology? You did not tell me you liked vexology or whatever that is. Sorry.
What level
So-
did you say this is at?
Very hard. And you notice they changed up the tune.
I did notice. Vexillology.
Critical
Vexillology.
fail.
Yeah, you don't know. Like you get another bit of pain. Like you're like, geez, maybe I'm getting night fever.
Your target was a 7.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Das ist nicht gut.
Yeah, but yeah, you do see a flag.
Do they
It
look like they
is
are dropping sort of buns and stuff behind them at all?
buns and stuff. No, I mean
Yeah.
literally all you see is a flag. It's like
Does it look
whoever
edible?
it is. I mean, if you really wanted to eat it, I guess.
It's like one of those flags that you stick in like a sandwich,
Can you make out the color?
like a nice
Yeah.
club sandwich.
Can you make out the colors on the flag at all?
Yeah, you can. It's they're
Yem nods.
it's black and red. If you give me a let's say challenging perception check, Yem.
Oh, to see if I can work out what the flag, whatever you call it, is.
Yeah, like to see like what it like looks like besides just black and red.
What am I doing again?
A very hard what did I say? It wasn't that. It was challenging.
Yeah.
Challenging perception.
Can I creep up, seeing that he hasn't been swallowed whole, and like
Yeah.
creep up and I'll assist. Slowly regain my bottle.
That's a failure.
Oh my good gracious.
Yem forgot to open his eyes this morning when he got up.
This is I mean, you see like you can't make out what like the iconography is. It's just a black and red flag.
Yem just shrugs and gestures Reynolds to come look. Rubbing his eyes. Having some bad
So-
allergies.
I mean, they sound like they're organized. They have a banner like this. My mind immediately would jump to state troops as opposed to militia, because militia don't have such coordinated music. It's not one key, for instance. It's usually about 7 different keys all being played at the same time. Does red and black, does that ring any bells?
Not particularly.
Okay. Well,
So you do notice the music stops. But the flag keeps going, like it's going off towards
Going away from us.
Yeah, it's going away from you guys.
Is it heading the direction we were coming
Yeah.
from? Is it heading like northeast?
Yeah, basically.
Is it? I sort of turn to Yam and I just say, is it worth us? Like, we can see that they're further ahead now. Is it worth, like, creeping a little further, getting a little closer so we can actually see what it is that we just missed?
Why?
Well, for one, it might tell us if there's going to be another 12 platoons walking behind them, for instance. And I just sort of look back down the road looking for more flags. Or back down what probably is the road, I suppose would be more accurate.
I mean, you don't see a road at this point, but
Right.
you might assume that there is.
Sort of where they came from.
Right.
Yeah. Are there any more flags sort of in that general southish direction?
No, you only see the one.
I don't really see the need here. I mean, what are we going to do if there are?
Good point.
I would look at this like good decision not to go further inland.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Sorry, I'm curious by nature, but that seems
unless you saw them
foolish
dropping
right now.
any buns or.
No, I couldn't see the road. It seems unlikely that it would be dropping buns, though.
I guess I'm just getting hungry.
Well, so am I, but I don't think just following armed troops around hoping that they drop buns is really our best chance of success.
After seeing Vassar go after those fish, I don't know.
Possibly. Well, maybe next time we give her some help, you and I.
Yeah. First lesson, don't let go of the spear.
Yeah, I've learned that one now. That's a useful lesson. And I'll sort of slowly slink back down the hill. Yeah, we don't know where they were, but they're gone north. So, good choice to stick by the river. Might have got ourselves recruited again.
As you look off in the distance and the flag is gone. It's past it's out of sight. Probably behind one of the hills up north some way now, but it's you don't hear any marching music.
I think how
don't see
much
the
we could have
flag.
leveled up if we went and killed that whole platoon. It's just a bunch of musicians anyway. That'd be easy prey.
Musicians and bakers, apparently.
Yeah. And musicians have a bunch of guys behind them just dropping buns.
What class are you playing? Bun dropper.
Yeah, right.
It's quite easy.
I mean, in
My
fairness, with
talent
some of
is
the
dropping buns.
with some of the professions they have in this game, why not?
Yeah.
Rat
Why not?
catcher, bun dropper. I mean,
Yeah, I mean it's true.
Yeah, a bun catcher is a perfect hire for like a rat catcher.
Mhm. It's true.
A whole group of people with celiac disease. Get out of here. Get out of here, gluten. Just a little nutrition humor for you guys.
Just a little bit.
I've always
so
felt our
yeah.
podcast was lacking on that.
Yeah. Our market research has shown we're really not hitting.
Yeah.
I will endeavor to fix that in the next episode.
There you go.
So, well, that at least makes me encouraged that maybe we're not too far from civilization. I can't imagine that they're marching too far. I mean, I didn't hear, obviously. Like, I couldn't gauge numbers and so on, but you know, one would imagine that they're only out for a certain amount of time. Maybe they don't have everything they need to set up camp. So it could just be a sort of day maneuvers or something like this.
Now, this gives me a thought.
Okay.
My old grandfather always used to say, when an armoured troop moves past, the fish swim to the bank. Now is the time. The pitter-patter of the feet is like the pitter-patter of rain on the surface, bringing the mosquitoes close by. Let's get a fish. Vasa, you have my spear.
Yes, mine also. I'm still trying to come to terms with what just happened.
No, so am I. I'll
And
slowly
my
take
wet spear.
No,
Which-
Quentin, I'm so sorry about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not actually giving you my spear. I was just going to assist you by also trying to stab things, just to be clear. I'm trying to keep it mostly dry.
Well, if Yem's grandfather used to say this, then I'm not the one to challenge.
And I'll go check the water.
They will be there.
Yeah, actually, you don't need to make a perception check on this one because you actually do see quite a lot of amount of fish just kind of like swimming at the top of the.
I audibly laugh.
Don't understand.
Neither do I. Havessa.
You shouldn't let me get away with this, or my grandfather is going to dictate most of what happens.
I'm gonna be honest. I half assumed that James had just like sent you a little message that said, "Suggest that you fish now," and you just ran with it.
I mean, you still have to catch something.
Yeah. Okay.
Just so
so
they're there.
Let's triangulate.
Yeah, you can gesture to Ranulph and to Quentin.
You go that way. You go this way. Create a
Oh.
killing circle.
Oh. He had a he had another saying.
Gosh.
He would say, dip the tip. Dip the tip, young Yem.
What?
So yeah, there's a lot of fish there.
So don't stab in from a height. You got to get your tip just below the surface, gently in there, and then strike.
Oh.
Then you don't get the splash. Less time for the fish to think. Dip the tip.
I guess I dip my tip.
And whilst
I
you
follow
dip
suit.
your tip, wish for fish.
I see.
I dip, you dip, we dip.
Okay. So we have a triple dipper going on.
Yeah, so it's challenging, but with the since 3 people are doing it with the third, so you would get a 30 bonus. So Vossar can roll because she's the river person.
Okay, that's good.
Possibly go wrong.
Because I'm not good with this. Stabbing malarkey.
Last time. Oh my god.
Yem
Very
just
nice.
nods
Criticals.
sagely.
Yeah.
Look.
So you
And
You stabbed it in the right leg.
yeah you get yourself a fish. Pretty
I stab the fish.
decent size.
I'll pull it out of the water. I'm looking at it on the end of my stick, and I look over at Yim, and I go, "Tip, the tip."
Wish for fish.
These are This is an astounding revelation.
Yem just smiles and
Even
nods.
one as myself. Your grandfather, he wasn't a river woman, was he?
Well, there was one time when I went out late at night, and in the moon I saw him wearing clothes that could only be described as jaunty.
Shot. Well, you
Thus,
have the fish to eat.
I assume you know how to prepare this. I can get a fire going, probably. Just get a little bit of stuff going here. We still have a few matches left. I think this is worth, you know.
It seems like it might be safe now.
Yeah. The wind is still blowing from the north.
That is.
Yeah. So
Up there from the
then
company.
the smell will travel south away from everything. Yes. So I'll move a little away from the riverbank and just prep a small fire.
Okay.
And lose a match. Ugh.
Well, because you have a match, you don't have to worry about rolling for trying to light a fire or anything, you know. So that's nice.
Should we try rolling first though?
No, it's fine.
No, we shouldn't.
Okay.
So yeah,
I don't want to waste 4 hours trying to light a fire.
you're right. So at this point, you would say it's probably midday. Sun's getting kind of high in the sky. So you will have a fishy lunch.
Take my hood down again as we eat. And I dare say the sun catches my eyes quite nicely. So you get to see the nice purple irises.
Oh, they are lovely.
They are.
The way they sparkle in the sun.
I sort of stare down again. Let's say. Yes, not everybody is so friendly towards them, however.
Their loss.
Oh, they are different.
A little too chaotic for some people's opinions.
What do you mean, some people's opinions?
Well, everybody back in Langweiser, for one thing.
Well, you know what they say about Langweiser.
Yeah, it's a pile of crap.
Exactly.
That's why I left. But, you know, that's why I keep the hood up most of the time. In any sort of slightest hint of corruption, and people are very quick to try and burn you at the stake, or hang you, or chop you up into pieces, make some sort of offering to Sigmar.
All this time, I really thought you were just being emo.
I mean, there's some of that, but, you know, I think one sort of begat the other, you know?
Mm.
But, you know, when we're out here, I feel like I actually can. I don't need to hide out here. Unfortunately, we will die out here because we're terrible at fishing.
No, I beg to differ. Yem's grandfather is much wiser than I originally had assumed. Just a couple more marching companies and a few more dipping of.
Yes, it's unfortunate you have to wait for a marching company, but, you know.
That is where the magic is.
Yeah, so yeah, I don't think we can rely on that.
Hang on, is that more music? No, I was
No.
hoping.
No, I mean, maybe you hear something. I don't know. I don't know what's going on in your head. Because you've had a couple of major sharp pains.
I just sort of side-eye Yem.
Oh, it was a bird.
Well, good work with the fish, Wasser.
I think it was a Drackwald finch.
What is the Drackwald finch? I do not know that one.
It sounds a lot like a marching band.
Oh, that makes sense then. I see why you got confused.
And despite the name, it's actually 2 foot tall. Hunts small rodents.
Oh, so there's good eating on it, is what you're saying.
What my old grandfather told me was that the first person that saw one saw it from very far away and misconstrued the distance. Named it, and then of course it attacked him, and it was too late by then. Once you name it, that's what it is.
I don't suppose it was a rat catcher, was he?
I wouldn't like to disparage a rat catcher.
No. Well, I'm just thinking if it eats rodents, then a rat catcher's probably in the same area as rodents, you know?
Oh yes, and probably would explain why it attacked him.
Right.
Lunch.
Exactly. It all makes sense now.
Yeah.
Everything that's just happened makes perfect
now
sense.
Now it makes sense.
Yes.
Yep. That put it all together.
That's why my grandfather always told me never hang a rat from your belt around finches. It makes sense now. I thought it was just superstition.
Oh, actually, yeah, I've heard that too.
Yeah, there you go.
I
It
don't
always
think I'd heard that
seems so
one.
silly around other finches, they only being 4 inches tall and eating seeds, but now it makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel like we've really discovered something today.
We've unlocked a strange vault of knowledge from your grandfather. Did he by any chance write all of this down into some sort of compendium? I mean, not that I could read it, but, you know, it would be useful.
Oh, I can ask him.
I can read and write. I can start making sure we copy this stuff down as it, as it comes to
you.
you.
Can read and write?
These
Are you
strokes of
kidding me?
yeah.
Where did you learn to do that?
That is impressive. I can write, but I can't read.
Wait, what?
It makes the skill very unhelpful.
I think I'm really good at it.
It's like painting pictures of words.
You could probably read a bunch of the stuff I've written and tell me what it was. I have no idea.
I don't know. Don't even know how you read and write in this game. Just pretty sure I don't.
It's a talent.
Oh,
It's a talent. Yeah.
What
Oh my
talent? So
God.
you took an extra talent to be able to read and write? Because I definitely don't have that.
Yeah, certain classes don't have the access to it.
I think I can read and write.
I'm pretty sure you can, because we talked about it.
I feel like
As an
it's probably an
apothecary.
inbuilt thing for apothecary.
Oh yeah, talent, read, write is listed as an option.
You could have chosen not to read and write.
That doesn't seem very yum.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, like, you actually chose the talent, so.
Well, there you go. Yeah, of course I did. I remember it well.
I can tell.
It's really coming in helpful out here in the wilderness.
Soon enough, we'll be in a town. To that point, I think probably we should continue walking south along the river. See if we can find this town. Can't be too far away from those black and red folks,
Now we're
wherever they came
going.
from.
We're heading downstream, so we're going with the flow of the river.
Yeah,
Or are
I
we
mean that's what
going
you've been doing.
upstream? Okay. That's
It's yeah,
news then.
it's going downstream.
Because I figured if we were
Goes
going upstream, we would
downstream.
potentially start to see the, stuff in the river from the town. Potentially.
All right,
Ah.
I see.
No, that's what you like. Last night you were able to like catch a ride and go a bit faster.
That makes sense.
And we were covering our tracks as we've been moving, right? Wasn't there like some fashioning of like some brushes around Boomer's tail and stuff?
I thought we just did that up to a point.
You had
Like
done
once we
that.
got in the
Yeah.
river, I don't think we needed that.
Yeah, you basically stopped once. I mean, you yeah. Once we were in the river, you were just floating on down.
We covered our tracks in the river well.
I mean, by now you guys are actually pretty dry, because it's a nice day. It's warm. It's not hot. It's nice.
Yem strips down to his undershirt.
Vasa blushes.
I mean, it's a glorious sight. He does kind of a slow motion hair shake.
Dreamy eyes.
Mm-hmm.
That was a little bit too much of an awkward pause after that. Just felt like I needed to say something.
I mean, I think
Break the silence.
you guys are just walking, and,
Yeah.
apparently there's some awkwardness going on between the party as Yem derobes.
I mean, he's still got his undershirt on. He's not going full bare chest.
Mhm.
That's a wise decision.
He likes to keep some mystery.
Are the bugs bad out here?
No.
Okay. Lucky
hmm
Yes.
not gonna save him from the skin cancer though. Spring sun in Neverland is brutal.
That's true. At
So-
some point, he may have to cover up.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty clear. There's not a lot of clouds in the sky. The you walk for a bit, feeling pretty content with your lunch that you had. You've made a little bit of distance, and your trek, and you're feeling pretty good. It's just got a little bit of distance between yourselves and the camp you came from. So you're feeling, as each step you take, you feel a little bit better. You're still in Averland though, as far as you know. And so as you going down the road, it's maybe about another hour or two, and you're starting to get kind of tired. You don't know how much longer you're going to be able to go before you guys give out for the day, because you've been walking most of the day already, even though you got a good start. So I mean, it's probably about like 3 in the afternoon at this point. That's 2 or 3. And from behind, you start hearing a bit of rumbling and rustling.
Yem dives into the nearest crevice and starts picking grass and throwing it on himself.
I mean, if it works, why not?
Is everybody doing that? There's diving in and throwing grass on themselves.
What does it sound like?
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like uprooting grass and a slight shuffle.
Not
is it?
you.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
It basically sounds like somebody huffing and puffing and kind of moving pretty quickly from behind you.
And we're still sort of in the same basic type of landscape, like
Yeah.
little hills. And I mean,
Mhm.
if someone's just sort of like running alongside the river here, is there anywhere reasonably we could hide?
Besides just in a crevice of a hill or something along those ways, or
Yeah.
under the water, something along that. That's about it. Just hear a coming up behind you. It's like very bedraggled sound.
Is it
There's a little
just
bit of
Rosie and
little
we
bit of
left her
clinking.
behind without realizing?
No, you see Rosie and she's
Okay.
sitting there kind of wide-eyed, like what's going on here. But she hasn't. You haven't heard her speak in days, so you're starting to forget what she sounds like.
Yeah.
I draw myself to my full 5'2" and try to turn towards the sound. And hold the spear out in what I think is a menacing way.
Okay, so go ahead.
Like, are we on the riverbank?
I mean, I assumed you guys were kind of taking that path.
Is there tall grass, like almost like I don't want to say pampas grass, but like, is there any kind of like coverage
To
like duck behind or kneel
Mike,
crouch behind?
there's some reeds in the water, but like not the grass around here is actually kind of on the shorter side. It's not super tall. It's maybe about like knee height,
Right.
So like if you were potentially like lay flat, you might be able to get a little bit of coverage, but like it's not something where you could crouch and get coverage.
Is there a depth of water with like reeds in it that I could lay in the water to hide most of my body, but keep my head in like the knee high? Like,
You'd probably, I mean, you might be able to. I'd say give me a stealth on that. At
that's what I would probably go for.
average stealth.
What would my stealth be? Laying on my back in the grass with small bits of grass on me.
I would say that would be hard.
Where's stealth at?
It should be on the basic skills at the bottom.
If I like grab Boomer, could I roll and not have to have Boomer make a separate roll?
I mean, you could basically command him to like be quiet, and then he would like take a performance roll.
Oh, okay. He is, perform obedience.
Mhm.
So that actually would be probably better than.
I don't have a stat for stealth. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's weird. So I have stealth urban.
Maybe
And then
we can't stealth.
I keep
I
adding
have
this.
stealth underground.
I keep adding this other stealth because I feel like there's supposed to be another one there, and then I keep deleting it and then adding it and deleting it. So I'm a little.
I think what we did last time is we just rolled straight agility, unless you were at, because stealth is an agility stat. So unless you have
a specific one that
like stealth in a specific area, then you get your bonus. If not, then you just roll your regular stat. I think that's what we did last time.
Sense.
Yeah, I believe that's right. So yeah, you can just go give me agilities then.
And that was challenging.
An impressive failure.
Well, it was difficult for him because he was basically putting tufts of grass on top of himself.
Oh.
For you, it was average because you were actually taking some cover.
Yeah, Yen was in such a hurry that he actually didn't make it to the knee-high grass, and he just went to the ankle-high grass and attempted this.
Oh
I
man.
mean, it doesn't
Yeah.
really matter because I'm still just standing here with my spear out, like
Yeah, you got
pointed
you
in the
got-
direction.
you guys are a bit of a ramshackle right now. Rosie kind of like just runs behind like the hill. She just runs away a bit. Like she's just not in the mood for it because she's just still not feeling very well right now. And Boomer starts actually barking and like little yips, but growling too. So he's not being very quiet. And Yem basically just lays there with grass on him and just kind of lays.
I'm 3 feet away from Ranulf, but convinced that I'm very well hidden.
Yeah. So there you go. It's the ostrich with the head in the sand. The only one who like is in any way, shape, or form actually hidden is Vosser. And like you guys actually don't really see her. You see her kind of like take off into the reeds, but then she disappears. So yeah, as Quentin is trying to tell Boomer to be quiet, it doesn't really work, and holding onto his collar, it just starts kind of jingling. So you guys are making tons of sound, and Ranulf was standing there holding his ground, as intimidating as he can be. So over the crest behind you, you still hear that, and a little stooped old man comes over the hill and looks at you guys, and kind of takes a back. It looks a little aback because he sees Ranulf there in his best defensive stance. And he he goes this deep breath. He's whoa there. No need to be worried.
Why are you running along the riverbank?
Well, I saw the smoke. I wanted to catch up with you. I found it some ways back and came up on you, and I just wanted to have a talk. So you see this guy. He's kind of a slight build. He's got a bit of a hoop or a bend in his back. Scraggly white hair with a balding pate, basically mutton chops. Really stubbly chin beard though, or like not chin, but like it's just a stubble chin. It looks like sandpaper basically. Huge underbite with like this jutting jaw and like really snaggle tooth. And he's got this really big patch over his left eye. Like something got him pretty good at some point in time. And he's got a big satchel over his shoulder. But he's just like hunched over and he's like just breathing heavy. And he's like, "It's okay, it's okay."
Does he seem in any way threatening?
I would say make a perception check.
What difficulty?
Challenging.
Really good at those.
I mean, he looks like a little old man. You don't see a weapon on him, but that doesn't mean he doesn't have one. But he's not wielding one.
Where were you before you saw the smoke?
I was following along behind the soldiers.
Why? Were they dropping buns?
No, but you never know what services they need.
You perform services.
Well, I'd like to think so.
What is your name?
Ver.
Ver?
Ver.
Well, Ver. What is it you actually do?
Oh, I basically sell things. Actually, that's why I came to see you guys. I saw the smoke, and I was like, well, there's somebody who might need some help.
I see. So you're what, a traveling merchant of some sort?
Ah, to a certain extent, yes. But you can lower your weapon. You know, I'm not gonna hurt you.
It could. Yeah. And I just sort of pause for a second. And I slowly sort of lower the weapon.
Yeah, there we go. So, you guys, kind of out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, we going on a little hunting trip. Got a little lost.
Yeah.
Turns out I'm not very good with my directions. Recently discovered what Southwest was. And yeah, we are just following the river back down to the next town.
Oh, okay. Well, you still got a little ways to go for that, but going back to
Oh.
Hoxhaven?
Yeah. How far is it from here?
Oh, about 15 miles, I guess.
Right. That is further than I had realized.
Yeah, there's a couple of villages further away from the river, but
Right. Yes, of course. But yes, Hochsleben is where we were heading next.
yeah. Sam, you don't sound like you're from around here.
No, I've traveled quite a lot already in my few years. But I have friends from around here, and I just sort of look around as I say friends.
You put up your hood, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
As soon as I heard him panting, I put up my hood.
Yeah, right. I thought so.
But yeah, I have friends. Friends? Would you perhaps...
Yem jumps up suddenly and says, "Ya Hazara!" Sorry for the surprise.
He just kind of looks over at you and like he kind of like, with his one eye, and he's like, yeah, surprise.
Did not mean to scare you, but you never can be too careful.
Well, I appreciate the apology. He, tries to act off the fact that he does not seem in any way, shape, or form frightened.
So you have goods to sell, you say?
Oh yes, I do. I'm a little short now, but I do have some wares, and I actually wanted to talk to some of those soldiers because they were gonna be getting into combat soon, I assume, because of what those greenskins coming over the hill. So, yeah. Would you like to see what I have?
Yes, that
Okay.
would be
He
good.
kind of like kind of like a bit of a scuttle over towards you, and he gives a big smile, and he looks over at Quentin and Boomer, and he just kind of cackles a bit, and he opens up his bag and he pulls out real quick a crumpled and bloody piece of meat, what it looks like.
Okay. Like how big are we talking here?
I mean, it's probably about 4 or 5 inches long,
Does it-
3-4 inches wide. It's kind of a
does it-
triangular shaped.
But most likely not from a person.
No, it doesn't look like it's from a person. There's blood. You can definitely tell there's blood on kind of like on the end of one edge.
It seems quite fresh.
Oh, it's a little fresh, yes. I actually had met up with some scouts, some of the Bergjägers that patrol some of these passes.
May I sniff your meat?
Sure, if you want to. So he kind of just hands it over to you. It's real goblin that.
Oh.
Boomer also sniffs the meat.
I mean, you can. Are you trying to find out
To
anything
what
about
end?
it? Yeah, like to
No,
what end, or
no,
just
just
doing
out
it?
of natural
Okay.
reaction.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yep, goblin ears.
This is goblin?
Yeah.
Have it back.
So the Bergjägers countered goblin scouts in the hills, and I'll tell you, because with all of the trouble coming up, some of the villages around here are paying good money for bounties on goblins. So if you have these ears, they'll give you a silver per ear.
Is that right?
That's right.
I quickly realized that I have less than 2 years worth in my coin purse. And could do with finding some goblins. Well, how much are you charging for the ears?
Oh, I'm charging what is it? Well, I paid a couple of pennies for each one of these because those Bergjägers, they came out of the mountains and they were just trying to sell them to me because they couldn't take them back into town. So I would just to make a little bit of something, I think I'd have to part with 3 pennies per.
Does he seem on the up and up? Like, I mean, is this actually... Are there going to be people who are willing to pay this bounty, do I think, based on what he said?
Let me see what you could do.
How many ears do you
What
have?
is... Oh, I've got quite a few. Here's the thing. I don't think they really thought all the way through because these goblins have 2 ears, you know. So
Yeah,
you
I was
could get a
thinking of
two for one.
Right. Or you could just leave them half deaf. Just take the whole army and leave them half deaf. That seems kind of amusing.
I don't want to tell people how to do their jobs, but if I was a person who paid for ears, I would ask for a specific ear. I would say, we only accept right ears. Or, we only accept left ears.
Yeah, Yam?
Or if we were in a
Fenwick.
galaxy far away, we only accept final front ears. That's a personal joke between me and Ranulph.
I'm going to ask you very nicely to not bring that up
Sorry.
when we are back in town.
No guarantees.
Mainly because that would you put ideas in the head. So just
I would say give me an intuition, challenging intuition.
I accept.
mean, you can't tell. Like, he doesn't
Can
seem
I-
like he's like.
Can I burn one of my resources?
You may, yes.
Which does this fall under? Is it a fortune? I forget which again.
You can re-roll a failed test, add +1 to the test, which isn't going to help.
Right.
Yeah, you could re-roll that if you wanted to.
And how does the fortune renew? Is that just every session?
Yeah. These are things you could use every session, so that's something to keep in mind.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Oh.
Okay.
Sorry, you could have reused that to do your stealth.
Huzzah!
Okay, a success. Your thought process is something's not right with this dude. Can't
Well,
you just kind of get the feeling that he's not really giving you the full truth.
Yeah. So you were behind the army, right? Which troops was that again? We didn't see them. We were over here by the river.
Right. Yeah, I don't know who they were, but they were from Visenland.
Oh, right, that makes sense. We're nearly at the. Have we crossed over the border yet?
No.
No, but
No.
we're close.
No.
And so what are you trying to sell to them?
I've basically goblin ears.
What would they want with the goblin ears? They're soldiers.
Well, they could turn them in to get some money. I can't really go into town because,
Why?
well, they don't personal reasons.
Okay. Tell me your personal reasons.
No, those are my personal reasons.
Renolf, let's not bug this poor guy who's just trying to sell us goblin ears. He's got personal reasons. We've all got personal reasons.
Perfectly upstanding ear merchant.
Yeah. We've all been there.
Might I inspect one of the ears?
He looks a little. I mean, at first, whenever he was like, "Oh," when you guys just wanted to kind of sniff him, he was okay with it. But now that you're kind of interrogating him a bit, he looks a little funny by it. He was like, "Why?"
Well, I need to make sure that this is the accepted currency in the area. Some of them, if you say you're bringing goblin ears, but you actually just bring like some sort of lizard ear or something else, they get awfully twitchy.
Well, lizard ears.
I don't know.
I tried to sell somebody 3 orc ears once, and it did not go well.
From the same orc.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can see why that would be a problem.
Sounds like that orc might have had some chaos in him.
Yeah, exactly. See, we need to check these to make sure they're not corrupted.
It was
Please, let me
certainly
take a look.
awkward.
Let's see. What is the persuasion?
Crap. I should not be talking.
Some form of fellowship, I would imagine.
Yes, it should be.
Yeah. I'm just seeing if there's like a specific one that would.
Would my
It's not-
sniffing the ear help him?
You're sniffing the air?
Yeah, would that help with this attempt?
I don't know if it would. I don't.
I guess it could just be
No?
straight fellowship. Full house fails. There isn't
Yeah.
something else that fits.
I'm just looking to see if there's. I don't think it would be gossip. That's particularly if you're
Yeah.
trying to get like intel. I'd say considering that. I'd say go with a haggle because you're trying to like get him to actually like give you it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm crap at all of it.
Okay, well there you go.
What difficulty?
I'd say challenging since he's a little on guard. Yeah, he's like, no, I'd rather you didn't. I don't I feel like you're gonna do something to them.
Okay. Well, so what if I offer to buy one ear from you right here, right now? Would we
Okay.
do that?
Yeah. 3 pennies.
And then you'll let me inspect it to make sure that it's good then, right?
Well, it's yours. You can do with it what you want. You can eat it if you want. I don't care.
I mean, why would I eat it if it's worth a silver penny? I could buy a lot of food with a silver penny,
I'm
right?
saying you could.
Not
But it's
very
yours.
tasty anyway. Not
Do
very
with it what you want. So he holds it. He basically kind of holds it to him, like he's kind of like really, but he's like he puts out his hand, like. Hello.
I'm pondering.
Okay. I thought I might have dropped it, so that's all.
No, I'm pondering.
Okay. Is my webcam active, by the way, guys?
No.
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 Okay.
I will pay the man 3 pennies.
Okay. So he hands it over, and he smiles as he does, and he says, "Well, see, thank you." And he takes the 3 pennies and he looks at him and he like scribbles. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna refresh this so you can see me.
What exactly did I just agree to? Am I now the owner of a cursed, not even goblin ear?
I mean, you can yeah, obviously you can expect a year now.
Yeah, I will absolutely inspect the ear.
Whilst Ranulph is inspecting it, Yam claps his hand down on the guy's shoulder and says,
Oh.
"Lovely day for ear trading. What?
Yeah. Would you want to buy 1 or 2? Maybe 3?
I'm certainly thinking about it. What do you think, Ranulph? Good ears? Should I invest? I've thought about investing in ears before, but never got round to it."
Excellent question.
Let's see. Let me see what I would ask for on this one. Do you have a what is that one? It's evaluate. Do you have evaluate?
Not in reality, no. That's one of those fake ones that I have as a
Right.
0.
Didn't know if it does anybody have evaluate?
An advanced skill.
Mine is a 26.
Now, are you sure it's a 26?
no.
Because that's a fake one
Yeah, I don't
for a
know
lot
if
of us. So I zeroed it out, but I couldn't get rid of it.
How do you tell if you have it again?
you were the idea was to if you actually had it, you would have the number, and if you didn't, you would have zeroed it out.
Yeah, I have. So for things like animal care, if I go into it, I have a bonus of -31. So that it takes my total to 0.
Yeah.
I literally have 1 advanced skill at all. That's it.
Is there no other way to tell what you have?
That's what I'm looking at right now to see what other evaluate is definitely the most straightforward one, I believe. Otherwise, what's that?
I seem to have 5, like advantage +5 in the things that I'm proficient in.
Okay. And do you have evaluate?
Not by the looks of it.
Okay.
I mean, just at a glance, like I'm seeing 5s next to the things I know that my character's good
Mm.
at. So I'm
Mm.
assuming that means, you know, that
Guys
I have
might
those
not
skills.
have that.
Yeah.
I mean, in this circumstance, I would give it. And I would probably say an intelligence at hard.
Right. Good.
I would say like you're based on what he said previously. You definitely have suspicions. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like what it actually is, maybe you know.
Yeah. I was so close.
You were a marginal failure. I would say with that, you don't know what it is. Like you can't really get the feel for what it is. It doesn't make you feel better. You know, you're like he gave you the heebie-jeebies with the way he was acting. So it was like there's something going on, but you don't know what it is.
Okay. Well, let's try this differently. Okay, so here's the thing. I do not believe that you are on the up and up.
How dare you?
Well, you're very shifty. Your story makes no sense. And trust me, I know shifty, okay? And you are shifty as a shifty thing. So why don't you tell us the truth before my friend there takes that spear that he's been hiding behind you and drives it into your back?
All right, this is an intimidation.
That sounded weird.
That's an intimidation.
I don't know if you know, but I'm really bad at those two.
I don't. I mean, considering that you have help, like you have, I would say you would have an immediate like +10 unless anybody else is adding into the scowling. But like just the fact that he's surrounded by you guys and he's alone out here gives you a bit of an advantage.
I mean,
But
yeah,
what is it everybody else doing?
Yem is towering over him with his hand on his shoulder.
Okay, so that would definitely be. I'll give you a 20 for that. With I would say at easy.
Oh, he's in trouble.
Can I help too?
If you especially, I mean, you can. Like, what are you gonna do? What do you plan on doing?
Vassar comes out of the water with a dagger.
Like
Not like-
Rambo?
I mean, kind of like Rambo, yeah, and an AK-47.
AK-47 with your boom gun.
Give me back my spear if you have an AK-47.
Yeah, right.
You don't need this.
Yeah, I mean, it's yeah.
Maybe Boomer could give a little growl. I don't know that Quentin's very intimidating, but
Yeah,
I've never found Quentin very intimidating.
This is gonna be one of those.
what about when he sliced you? What about that?
No, it was luck.
Oh, okay.
All right, yeah, you guys, you get a plus. I'll do a +4, so it's 40 at easy.
Boy, it's not going well for him. Yeah, it's a +8 on the success meter there.
Yeah, no, it worked. He's like, okay, calm down, and he's like, I mean, they're ears.
From what?
Never.
You'll have to speak up. My ear's a little sore. From what?
I don't know what from what. Why is your ear? What is your ear problem?
No, it's not. Don't focus on my ears. Focus on the ears in the bag.
What about them?
What are they from?
Oh yeah, that's right. Pigs.
So you're just trying to go around swindling people?
Well, see, here's the thing. Okay, they don't need to know that they're pig ears. They're still going to give you the reward.
Oh, my friend, you've made a right pig's ear out of this.
He looks over at you. What does he mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? Like you can just still take them and just tell them that they're pig ears or not pig ears. Just tell them they're goblin ears. That's right.
See,
That's right.
that's
right,
exactly the kind of thing we may accidentally do.
Yeah.
No, but see, yeah. So they do look slightly greenish, but that's that's the only thing they've got going for them.
I like try and rub at the green to see if it comes off.
Um,
Are they green with age?
are they green with
Or
age?
envy.
Yeah, there's nothing that comes off of them as far as paint.
Okay.
But I would say give me an average check on that with what would that be?
Probably pig ear knowledge, I imagine.
Yeah. That seems seems about right. Well, I don't know. Maybe just give me an intelligence.
Ear intelligence. Got it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like that it like they're just old and kind of rotting. You know what I mean? And so
Right.
they're like, there's a bit of green from that that process.
So they're
Of,
probably not even good to eat at this point.
you don't think so?
Right. Okay. So here's what we're going to do, if that is your real name. First of all, I'm going to give you back this ear, and you're going to give me the 3 pieces I gave you for it.
But see, here's the thing, though. You can take these down to one of the villages. You can
No, I
go.
understand that. I completely understand that. But I'm going to give you back this ear, and you're going to give me my 3 copper pieces.
But you can give it.
No, I understand. We're going to deal with that negotiation afterwards. First off, you give me back my coinage.
But I don't want to.
Okay.
We made a deal.
Yes, but you haven't delivered. You were giving me a goblin ears, and this is not a goblin ear.
Well,
Yeah.
but the thing is they won't know the difference.
Yem,
No, but I know the difference right now.
Yem will move
No.
around behind Ver and put a hand on each shoulder and give him a little massage and say, Ver.
Yes.
Think this through, my friend.
Well, but you don't understand.
Oh, we do.
It was a bit more dramatic than I was going for there as I threw my headphones around.
Yeah, right. He just gets you can see like he kind of breaks and just realizes he's like, oh well, fine, and he just kind of like throws the pennies on the ground at your feet.
Oh, Ver, that was rude.
Well, you were not nobody I want to do business with again. And he kind of like shrugs off. He's like, you're terrible people. He was like, I'll take my goblin ear somewhere else.
I attempt to resist the shrug.
Uh-oh. All right.
I have not finished my massage.
Hmm. Man. Okay. Give me a strength check. At say average.
Oh man, I've just remembered that you
my
have like
first
crazy
thing I've
good stats
passed.
and everything.
Except for strength,
Yeah,
as it turns out.
Oh, except for strength. Yeah, 28 is strength. That's pretty poor.
But yeah, you hold on to him. He goes to shrug you off, and like you give him like basically double Vulcan pinches.
Oh,
like
that's
you
that's
have
a
him.
real knot you've got there. Ooh, let's get that out.
He's like, oh no, what? No, let go of me. I'm leaving.
It doesn't seem like you are.
Let go of me.
I'm curious there. How many other pig's ears have you sold to people today?
He looks around and he goes, none.
Yesterday? The day before?
None at all. This actually hasn't been very profitable.
I don't say.
He looks a little nervous now.
So, How much coin do you have on you at the moment?
None at all. He's like trying to get out of DM's grasp.
I just sort of like glance down at his belt, see if there's any little purses there.
Yeah, I mean he's got a little pouch on his side.
So that little purse there is empty.
Yeah.
Are you sure about that, Ver?
Yes, I am.
So you wouldn't mind if I just grabbed it and took a look?
I would not like it if you grabbed it and took a look.
How's that massage going there, Yim?
Oh, I've still got a little bit left to do. He's getting more and more tense for some reason. I'm really trying to work it out.
Then, like, as you go in, he's like, ha! But not in a good way.
We'll get there eventually, but this is going to take some work.
I'll reach out to try and grab the little purse off his belt.
He will try to stop you. So, you can...
Oh ho.
Yeah, you can, you've got some... What are your skills in this?
I got athletics.
Yeah. I'll do an opposed athletics versus his dodge. I'm gonna try to dodge with him.
Okay. And what difficulty are we doing here? I guess it doesn't really matter, as long as we do the same, right?
It's yeah, I mean I would just say challenging for it.
Okay.
So I am going to just roll a D100 and add 20. So he stops you.
Boy, oh boy.
He just basically just like, no, not yours.
It's funny. I thought I knew what most thieves look like, but you look a little different.
What?
Somehow less reputable than most of the thieves I've met.
I'm a thief? Dare you?
Yeah. A swindler and a thief.
I am an honest salesman, sir.
I'm just gonna sort of kind of peruse his person, looking for any potential symbols of Reynold.
Yeah, give me and let's see. What I do for this one? Sort of investigation. Do you have any sort of investigation skills?
Nothing beyond perception.
We'll just run with perception. And I would do. I mean, this is. Are you like actually going to like
I'm
look
not
around?
like patting him down or anything.
Okay.
I'm just sort of like eyeing him up.
Okay, I would say average.
Okay.
You notice a necklace kind of hanging around his, like it's about like a bit of twine around his necklace. That gives you a suspicion, maybe that. But like anything else, you don't really see anything. Like he doesn't have like any tattoos or anything else. So
I just say, so what? Out of curiosity, what's on the necklace?
it's a keepsake.
Yeah, but what? Show me.
He kind of pulls it out, and yeah, it's basically like a die.
And would I associate that with Reynold? or with someone else?
You could do that.
I'll just sort of pull out my little painted griffin token that looks a bit more like a magpie, and just say, you know, we could have had a much more pleasant conversation if we just understood who we were talking to.
So you're trying to basically, what are you trying to convey?
Just that we are cut from the same cloth. You know, we're
Gotcha. He kind of like breathes out, and he's just like, just leave me alone. All right, it didn't work out. Just let me leave on my way, and I'll leave you alone.
it's fine. I mean, you know, I wouldn't want to take what isn't mine from a fellow brother, you know. But maybe just work on a better gig, because this is awful. I mean, this will not work. I would be surprised if you sell more than a single ear. And I mean, let's face it, the only reason I took it was to find out what it was, what tripe you were selling me.
Yeah. You'd be surprised. And as he's like still again tries to like get away from Yim.
Yeah, I don't suppose you could let him go, could you?
I mean, I most certainly could.
He is mostly harmless.
Very well, if you're done with your massage.
So he wriggles out of your arms again, and he's like, "Good day," and he like starts to kind of like scurry off around the. He's not coming back from the way he came, but like he goes around the corner, and then he screeches as he gets out of eyesight, and you hear Rosie, a muffled screech from Rosie as well.
Oh, right. Because
Then you
yes,
hear him run off.
I guess he found Rosie.
We all do in time.
Well, what a waste of space he was. But it is the way of people like me and like him to not actually do any harm, and to, and this pained me, believe me, but not to how shall I say it, negatively impact each other. So it would have been wrong of me to take the coin purse by his side, for instance. Of course, before I knew that he was like me, then, you know, that's fine, but at that point he was fair game.
I dare say you shouldn't have looked at his necklace then.
Yeah, it became more and more clear that he wasn't a merchant, and he was, you know, well, you know, scumbag.
I don't really like to do harm to old men who can't really take care of themselves anyway. It puts a bad taste in my mouth. If I felt like he was really hurting others, then perhaps.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, he was doing no harm to us, so.
Which way did he run? Did he run back towards the army, or is he ran in a different direction?
It's kind of probably a bit eastward. So maybe he could.
Did he go the way we were?
No, he didn't go. He didn't go the same way you guys. No, actually, he would have been going westward, not eastward. He could probably end up potentially getting in behind the army or the soldiers that you know had sort of seen earlier. But you don't. I mean, you don't really know. But he's going that way. He's not heading the same direction that you guys are, though. Unless he doubles back or something, you know. but you don't see that right now.
Don't worry, if Renault does not approve of his actions, he'll have to make up for it.
I mean,
It is the way of these things.
if he had only tried to sell them as rotten pigs here, I might have picked up a couple. But it was the deceit that really hurt.
Yeah.
Might have even paid more than 3 for.
Yeah, they are quite hard to come by.
I'm going to be honest. My initial thought was, oh, here's an opportunity to get a lot of food.
Yeah.
But once I realized they were rotten pig's ears, that was...
You were gonna eat him? I see.
No, I don't really like violence as a rule. That would have involved a rather dramatic amount of violence.
You've always been more of a cello man, anyway.
Well, so I don't think we can cover another 15 miles today. Just thinking about, getting down to old, Hockleben.
Hoxleben.
I did a pretty good job writing that down.
Should we consider more floating?
I mean, I don't know that it's much faster, really, than walking. The main benefit of the floating was to not leave a track. I'm not too concerned about that anymore.
It is fun, though.
It's also very damp making.
Well, so much is, isn't it? On a lovely day like today. Maybe if we come across a tree with a bit more wood that we could maybe have enough to float on top of.
Yeah. Okay. I could go along that. How wide is the river, and like how fast is it flowing approximately?
It's flowing pretty good. I mean, I don't really know how to
Like
approximate that, but
compared to like a walking pace, would it theoretically be quicker?
I'll tell you what, I'm still quite warm. And we'll go and jump in the river and float and say, walk alongside.
I will walk alongside.
okay, yeah. He's going a bit faster than you are. And I mean, if you are able to float, then there's also that. Although, can you swim, Yem?
Is that a skill?
That is a skill.
Guys, it was nice knowing you.
I mean, you would have known that, so I would whether you can swim or not. So I would assume that you.
I don't have a plus in it.
Yeah, that's one of those fake ones.
If we really want to conduct that test, I do have a plus in it.
Yes, I know. I knew that Rosie and Vosser could swim, but I wasn't sure about the rest of y'all.
Vasser, be a dear.
I have a decent swim too.
Okay.
Do come, Vasser, and perhaps fish me out of here. I've just remembered I cannot swim.
I mean,
I'll dive in.
yeah, maybe depending on where you're at, if you just stand up. Okay.
Here, grab this spear and throw it at.
It's like Men in Tights.
Yeah, exactly.
Like drowning in a foot of water.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go and swim. So yeah, I mean, if Vosser wants to go in and help out, that's fine.
Suppose I should. And I'll dive in and help him out.
Okay. So yeah, that a moment of dramatics as Yim can't help but being the center of attention. And you realize that the river is moving a bit faster than your walking speed. Yeah, and I mean it's about, we determined it's probably round 3-ish.
Mm-hmm.
So you do have a few more hours of it's maybe two or so hours left of daylight. But you guys are getting pretty tired. So I mean, you could probably go a little bit further if you wanted to. You feel like, but it's kind of a you're in that in between phase now.
If we have 15 miles to go, we should try to make the most of the energy we have left. If we find some good flotsam, then by all means we can ride the river a little bit. I would agree to this.
I mean, say there's you guys could give me an easy perception, Randolph.
Yeah. I didn't know it came in astounding.
What's that?
I said I didn't know it came in astounding flavor.
Yeah, I didn't know either. So yeah, I mean, so like there are, with the reeds and stuff, there were some decent sized limbs that kind of got caught up in those. So you think you could definitely, I mean, unless you guys have anything that's like rope or anything like that you could tie stuff together, but like you could definitely have things that you could float down the river with, if nothing else, especially for those who can't swim.
Yeah. Well, I cannot swim, but I would be happy to float using one of these as a flotation device. I think it would be good to try and get more ground covered, and then we'll arrive in Hoxleben a little earlier tomorrow. What do you think?
I can agree to this. Floating down the river will prove less
Right.
exhaustive.
I was thinking the same. Quentin, I think you and Boomer would like a little swim again?
Yeah, we're used to water. We don't mind.
Well, I mean, it seems like we have a plan. Just find a good, sizable piece of wood, and off we go.
Were you all gonna kind of hang on to the same bit, or get a couple of different ones?
I mean, if there's one big enough that can sort of hold all of us, that probably makes the most sense.
Yeah, I mean that could be arranged.
Somebody can lay on the door, but the other would have to like hang on to the side of it. There's not enough room for both of us on the door.
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's historically accurate.
We did the research.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, that's my doctorate right there. So yeah, that's fine. Y'all can definitely do that. I would say at this point though, and I would like everybody to give me an endurance test.
Terrible at those.
What'd you say?
I said I'm not terrible at those.
Okay.
Rather surprisingly.
What's average?
Yeah.
I'm terrible at that.
Oh my good God.
So I might use one of those
Even
fortune
more
points
terrible.
again. Can I do that? To reroll?
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's much better.
Oh yeah. I mean, you feel a little bit tired, Randolph, and you just kind of shake your head and you're like, okay, I can do this.
Holy crap, look at Boomer.
He's good to go.
Wow.
Yeah, Boomer's just like he's like he just wants to get in the water and have a swim.
He's like, I don't care about you, stupid log.
Yeah. basically. Vassar.
I used a fate point, I think,
Uh,
to reroll and still did incredibly horrible.
Yeah, you did. Fortune. You used a fortune. Yeah. So and make sure that those will they refresh after every session, and they go back up to equal whatever your fate is. Yem, you can re-roll and use a fortune if you want to on that.
Why not?
Wait, you said fortune
I don't know what I'm rolling
goes
for, but I'm
back
doing
up to your fate?
Endurance to see if you die.
it. Oh, I'll reroll.
You will.
My fortune is higher than my fate, though.
It shouldn't be. I don't know why that is.
Mine is 2. Couldn't we choose?
I thought we chose
R-
resilience, resolve, fate, fortune a little bit.
So it's fate and fortune are tied together in the amount that you have, as is resilience and resolve. The amount that you start out with.
Good work, Rosie.
Yeah, she's holding on. You can kind of see that she's like teetering, but she's made of tough stuff, with her background as a miner. And Yem also has that moment of like he looks like he's getting ready to like nod off or something while he's like getting ready to like just that brief break of not having to hold himself up so much, and he just nods off for a second, and then he just like oh okay, I'm all right. But it would be Vassar looks pretty shattered right now, so that would be a 1 fatigue.
Okay.
For you.
Where do you put fatigue?
The fatigue column, silly. Let's see. There should be a spot for it.
Eli's just destined to be exhausted in whatever format we play.
Oh, geez, yeah.
That's true. And real life too. I'm sorry, Eli.
It's funny because
so
it's
tired
true.
right now.
Is it a condition?
Yeah, it is.
You just have to type it in.
Yeah. So you could, like, if this was super problematic, basically fatigued at -10 to all tests per fatigue condition to a max of -30.
Oh.
And you lose 1 fatigue condition per hour of rest. This is one of those things you could use a what is it? You could use a resolve to get rid of it. But resolves do not re-up like fortune fortune does. So you want to be a little bit more calculating with those.
You can actually drag the condition from the compendium over, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
And then presumably, if I were just to say, roll a random thing, does it factor that in anywhere? No. Okay, that's a shame. I did not automatically factor in the -10. Because it does say, like, I guess if I changed it to like 4, for instance, would it change the global penalty? No. Okay. But it at least puts it in, like, when I put it in with rank 1.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just copied it over. It said ranks 1, global penalty -10. And then gives, like, the explanation of all of it.
Okay.
Just like you were saying. So,
well, good.
handy. Now I'm going to get that crap off here before I accidentally give myself fatigue.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want that per se.
No.
So yeah, giving Bosser a little bit of help, to hang on. You guys start to mosey on down the river. And it's nice. Like you guys, it feels kind of refreshing. Like it's not super cold or anything like that. I mean, the water's a bit chilly, but after that initial like plunge in, you're like you get that oh boy, but then once you're in, it feels fine. So yeah, you are going down the river. And I like if you guys weren't in a state of running away from your conscription, this would be somewhat enjoyable. You pass along down some, there you see more trees here and there. It's here, and then just it's winds and meanders. There's like this is a pretty nice river. There's nothing like it's not nothing where like there's any falls or anything. It just winds its way through the foothills here, and you just keep wandering on down, ever towards Hoxleben. How long did you guys wanna hang on for? Do you wanna move on past an hour?
What time does it normally start to get dark?
I would say it would be about 5 for this time of year. Say about 5:30ish. So like you would think it's about based upon the way the sun is. It's like probably around 3ish.
I mean, I'm quite happy to just cling on until it gets dark or we reach Hoxleben, whichever comes first.
Okay.
No sleep till Hoxleben.
Let's see. There you go. So let me. Okay. I'm taking a note here real quick. I would ask for another endurance test for everybody.
Am I?
No, I did too good on the first one. This is going to be a bad one.
Well, yeah, I need you to give me one too, Bosser. I will do one for same average.
Do I have to put a minus in?
You would because you are tired already.
I don't know. Boomer gets it doesn't let me modify it.
Doesn't let you modify his?
Yeah, like see how it says challenging?
Mm-hmm.
Because you wanted an average, right?
Right.
So I don't know. It just wouldn't let me select that drop down like the other ones would for some reason.
So just roll for me, please.
Well, yeah, I guess so. That would have been a 69, but it would have been 20 off. So it's maybe a 49 instead. Does that sound right?
Yeah, I didn't see his.
49, which is still a failure because it's over.
Okay. So yeah, he would.
No.
He's
yeah.
Okay. So yeah, he would be getting tired too. Like he's got the first fatigue.
I used another point of fortune.
Me too.
Okay. If you have so just call out to me if you failed or not.
I've
Even
not.
after. No. Okay.
I failed.
Okay. And Quentin, did you fail?
I passed, just
Passed.
Boomer failed.
Okay. All right. So yeah, make note of that. So yeah, if you guys want to talk or anything, you obviously may, but otherwise, I'll just say that you're just holding on, casually wandering down the road. I mean, it is more relaxing, but obviously there's the cramps that come in with like being in a same position for a while, and you can, yeah, holding on, you can get into the water and take a little bit of weight off yourself and try to reposition, but it's not the most comfortable. So yeah, you could just have those back and forths, moving around, getting a little comfortable in your chair type stuff, as you move on down for another hour.
I was thinking, what are we going to do when we get to Hawksleben,
Doesn't matter.
aside from
does
dry
it?
off? It matters a little.
It only matters where you're running from, not where you're running to. That's what you told us, Ranulph.
Oh, we're done running now. We've done with that bit. Now we're thinking about the two. The important part was getting away, and we've done that. I don't think we're going to. I mean, well, I don't know for sure, but I don't. Is Hawksleben on the Vissenland side of the border? I don't know, but hopefully it is. Maybe
I've
at that
never
point
even
nobody will
heard of
care. No, I mean I hadn't either, but I'm assuming it might be.
I would ask that the two Averlanders, Yem and Quentin, give me intelligence checks at average.
I say I've never heard of it. Let me have a little bit more of a think.
And your what if you have any sort of fatigue that would come into play right now.
No, I was right. I've never heard of it.
Yeah, you haven't heard of it.
For a moment, I thought being a Talabecklander might help me, but it didn't.
Spencer, Quentin, are you gonna roll too?
Where's Boomer
Oh.
from?
Auckland.
Sorry, for some reason my chat was like all weird.
Okay.
Not roll initiative.
Intelligence. Make sure it's intelligence.
What if you just better an initiative? Can you roll that instead?
I mean, unfortunately,
I
no.
am. That's the thing. So I would. Well, shit. I told you he has attention deficit disorder.
Yeah, no. Neither one of you. You did. You haven't heard of it, so you're not sure.
Ranulph, you were the man with the plan.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? As of right now, I'm following you.
Okay. So my plan is get there, find somewhere. Maybe we could actually sleep indoors. Maybe find a way to make a little coin, eat some food, and then just try to maintain a low profile, especially if we accidentally find ourselves still in Averland. I assume that word would be sent out if they thought we were taken or deserted.
Perhaps makeovers are in order.
Possible that changing our physical appearance would be beneficial, I suppose. Yeah. But I'm quite attached to this mustache. I wasn't sure at first, but then it grew on me.
Oh, Ranulf. You scoundrel.
Suddenly,
Yeah, I felt saying that one.
the green skinned horde comes over the hill.
Ah, I see. We found
Yeah.
the Warhammer Fantasy version of Roxfall. Everyone dies.
Yeah,
Oh.
right.
I've always wondered whether some nice blonde highlights might really give me a pick me up. What do you think? In my hair, I mean, in my hair.
Right. I don't know how we would achieve that.
Lemon.
What?
Lemon.
But your hair is like jet black.
Hmm.
You smell slightly citrusy.
You're really putting a damper on my mood here, and that's saying something because I'm floating down the river.
Yeah. Why don't we just go back to floating instead? That seemed to be going better for us.
Vasa, what do you want to do? You were so quiet last time we were speaking about such things.
Well, starting to get closer to dark. It would probably be beneficial if we make our way to the side. I am still quite fatigued from my infection.
Yes, maybe you shouldn't have floated after all. We probably should have had you run alongside us on the bank.
Not certain exactly how that would have helped, but
Yeah, no,
I'm assuming
I don't think so.
your grandfather, some sort of wisdom of his. Well,
I mean, I'll be honest.
nice
I always thought you being the river woman would be the at home here the most.
You know, I assumed that as much as well. I'm just tired.
You guys want to stop here then?
Yeah, I think that is probably for the best.
Okay.
I'm not keen on floating through the dark.
Aren't we all just floating through the dark in life, though, when you really think about it, Vasa?
Some more than others. But I'm more concerned about the literal sense and less metaphorical.
So yeah, you can make camp for the night, similar to the last night if you want, or you can. You've kind of noticed that, like, as you've kind of gone a little bit further southward here, like the trees do seem to pick up a little bit more. So like if you wanted to find like do a campfire or something along those lines, it probably would be a little bit easier.
Let's say that we have proper distance.
And we can use
for something small.
Yeah, we can use the trees for cover. I think that is smart. What skill is used to try to make a fire without matches?
The Eagle Scout skill, I would say.
Basic skill.
Oh no, an Eagle Scout skill is definitely advanced.
Yeah, no, I don't have that.
I know what skill. I know what skill I use.
What is that?
Love.
Love. Okay, that makes sense. I would actually say I would go with outdoor survival.
Well, I'm happy to help put the fire together, but I don't think I should be the one to try and light it. That's why I use matches normally. I can build a good fire, but I'm not very good at making it catch without the use of matches.
Are you low on matches?
Yes.
Well, that's
And to
the
be
whole
honest, I
reason we
don't
brought
know.
you.
I don't know what they're going to cost in town. I would like to get more, but I don't want to run out and then find that they are more than I should really be spending. Besides, we have Vasa here, who is skilled in all things wilderness. Right, Vasa?
What? Oh. Yes, of course.
Um,
Mm,
Rosie.
Foster looks real fatigued and tired.
Right.
Rosie says she points and she rubs her hands together like she can maybe, and she's kind of like mimicking movements of like to do things,
Mhm.
and trying to get you guys to kind of build it in a certain way. And she points at Wasser for help, basically, to like help start it. Like she does this like hand motion of like with twigs and stuff like that, basically.
Of course, yes. No, I can help.
See if she's got what I'm looking in her kit to see what she has. Like you guys try forever and she's like, "Oh yeah, I've got this."
She's got lighter fluid.
Yeah, right. What
One
is
of those
that?
little long lighter things with the little.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a miner. She's probably got explosives.
I should start a fire pretty quick
Yeah.
at least.
Fun. I
Some
don't.
charges.
She's not a dwarf miner though. They're the ones who have the mining charges. Human ones just have to use muscle. All of their black powder's gone to the weapons.
She has a charcoal stick that is actually basically like chalk. So I thought that might have been something, but apparently not.
Just like for marking.
Yeah, basically.
Does it help at all? Do we get any bonuses for having everything we own be soaked in water for hours over the last few hours? Does that help at all? Light a fire?
Yeah. I mean, unless it's like with The Simpsons when Homer makes a bowl of cereal and it catches on fire.
I don't think I saw that one.
Yeah. I mean, I'll give you that. I would, yeah. So she is not fatigued. So surprisingly, considering that she still seems to be dealing with the night plague, or what night fever? Yeah, night fever. So I will do that with her. With challenging. And I will give it the plus with the help from Wasser. Does anybody else like have particularly good outdoor survival that they feel like they could help with?
Define good.
Like, do you feel like you're good at outdoor survival?
I mean, I think I built us a fire before because I had the matches, so I'm not terrible at it.
Is this when we have
But
to
I
have
wouldn't say I
taken the
was
skill
good.
in?
No, everybody does have that. So I mean, like, but it's like one of those things where it's like it seems a bit strange to me that there'd be like 15 people around a fire trying to build one. It's usually like a couple people working on one. That's the way I see it. If you would like to describe and how you would help, I can add in, because right now it's basically a plus 10 because of the help from Vosser. So
Oh, I will put my I can't remember which is the pestle and which is the mortar, but I will put down one of them so that they can use it to put the twigs in, so they've got a nice little windproof basin.
Okay, that works.
I'll put my pestle down, whip out my pestle, and present it to the group, and allow it to be used.
That pestle is impressive.
Ah, thank you.
Anybody else got anything before I roll this? If not, that's cool. No pressure.
That's fine. I just want to point out that the mortar is the one that's the round ball.
I whip
Yeah,
out my pestle and then
definitely.
embarrassed put it away. Get out my mortar instead.
There you go.
He's the educated one. All right, here we go.
Hey, on the money.
On the money. Yep. No, she's got it.
That's
So
a double.
right. So yeah, she works at it a little bit with help from a clearly fatigued Wasser, but they've talked before and they talked about like their travels and being out in the wild. So Rosie knew that she could count on Wasser for some help with starting a fire. And the mortar definitely helped give the base. So yeah, just be able to like rub it together and get enough friction. It looks like she's done it before. There's, like I said, it struggles a bit just because it's not the most easy thing in the world to do, but catches fire and able to tend to it, bringing over some grasses and stuff to catch fire and get it a little bit bigger and bigger with some twigs, and doesn't take too terribly long, and you've got yourselves a fire.
This is an improvement on the last night.
Yeah, I hope this one doesn't attract any weirdos like the last one.
It does. We'll just have Yem massage them. It's fine.
Oh, yeah.
It seemed to be sufficiently off-putting.
Speaking of which, does anybody need one?
Keep your pestle over there, buddy.
And with that, tonight's session is over. Keep your pestle over there, buddy. Fade to black.
Yikes.
Yep. So good job, everyone.
On the plus side, I think we can be pretty sure that in the whole history of anything that's ever been recorded, that's probably the only time that's been used as a outro line. So we're creating original content here.
That's amazing. Yeah, no, that was good. I would say you guys get another 100 XP on top.
Oh, I've leveled up.
Ooh.
What have you?
I don't know. I haven't got to the page yet.
Yeah, right.
Session
I-
2, 100.
there is a lot of XP floating about, and I'm obviously not expecting folks to figure things out now, but just a few. I guess even myself, we should probably figure out a time to, if we want to like hash out some upgrades and stuff potentially.
If we didn't banter for half an hour before we play next time, we could just do it then.
Well, let's be real.
Let's not make promises.
Yeah, like I that's not going to happen. So we would have to like get on earlier or something to try to do something like that. So yeah, but you can do stuff now if you want to, if you have ideas. I mean, I don't need to jump off right now. So whoever wants to can, but I know that there's still some thought process going on too.
Mine was
So-
easy. I now just need 2 agility. And
There
I
you
will
go.
have everything I need.
I'm saving up for a career change still. And I'm probably going to need some for the highlights as well. So I'm saving up for that.
Extra XP for that.
Mm-hmm.
Did Spencer, did you get it? Were you able to update stuff while we were playing, or?
Yeah, I mean, I know what I wanted to do. I was just gonna up my ballistic skill just because that's one of the things I got to update anyway. That'll help with my sling. But it's doing weird stuff with my experience point balance. But
Yeah, it does
I
that.
don't know. I got to figure that weird thing out. But
yeah, we did see. That's the thing. Like, we did find out a way where it wouldn't do that, but I cannot remember it right now. I need to probably go into Roll20 and look at the forum to find out what the deal is with that. But the one thing I would say that you can do in the meantime is just do a balance. Like whenever you do any sort of upgrades, put in the experience points, like just add it back or whatever it's doing. You know what I mean? Like if it's giving you too much of a negative or a positive or whatever, then
yeah, I was
just go in
trying
and
to figure
counterbalance
out
it.
I guess I could just take that offset and adjust it. It was weird. It was like, I don't know. Couldn't figure out what it was doing.
Okay.
I posted what my one looks like now in the Yonder Over Yonder chat. I don't know if that's actually helpful or not, but so I've been adding a new section under awards for each session,
Awards.
like
You say-
experience awards.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm not doing anything for experience spends. I'm just changing the characteristics, and then it automatically takes it away.
Mm.
I think the experience spend would probably be if you were for something like switching career or something like that, maybe would be my guess. But I'm not 100% sure.
You actually have 10 XP to your name. Look at you go.
I know I have 10 whole XP that I'm just not going to use right now. Because I felt like I didn't really have any skills that needed just that one extra point to tip them over the edge.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I'll just sit on it.
Yeah. No, but I'm proud of you because you're usually at 0.
Yeah. That's
Yep.
pretty accurate.
Yeah, because you spend it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's all going to my my other abilities right now to
Indeed.
get my characteristics is what's slowing me down. But
So I do know that like you have your want to get to level up, but think about whether if there's any talents that you would want within that.
before I level up,
Yeah.
because then you can't access them, right?
Technically, no.
Yeah. Let me go back to
That's the only thing. You'd be able to do basically anything else. It's just not the talents.
So I have criminal already.
Well, that's a good one to have.
Strike to stun is actually an interesting one. And
Spencer Quentin has that with his
with the
his
sling.
sling, yeah.
Yeah, because you can use it for the ranged attack.
Yep, headshots.
Because it says melee weapon with pummel, but the sling counts as a melee weapon with pummel or something. We looked that up, right?
Yeah.
Weird. So it's Alicat, flee, and strike to stun. I just confused it by trying to actually make it search. Hold on. Yes. Okay. That's good.
All right, I'm head. I'm like about to fall asleep.
All right, man. Take care. Thanks for jumping on.
See you, dude.
Bye.
Bye.
There you are. There's your thiefness. Yeah.
Where the Nope. I wanted.
But obviously, whenever you go into the next step, though, it does mean that you get to like work on other skills and characteristics and stuff too. So
Right.
that's a nice thing. You can always work on the skills that you have in your tree. Like that never changes. Like you can always go back with those.
Right. Yes. You just add more characteristics and skills, right?
Yes.
Basically.
The thing with the talent is to make it like so it gives you a little bit of a hard choice, you know? Like
Right.
you're like, well, I want to advance, but I really want these other talents before we get out of it. So it's like it's one of those things. So took those notes.
Flee is great. When your life is on the line, you're capable of impressive bursts of speed.
Mm-hmm.
Your movement attribute counts as 1 higher when fleeing. So I guess that changes your move to 5, your walk to 10, and your run to 20. In theory.
Yep. Yep.
I mean, I can see that being useful.
I mean, yeah,
And
definitely. I think when we were first setting up your character, you very much considered that one.
Yeah.
Which is understandable.
I mean, since that's kind of what he did, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And let's face it, he's been talking a big running away game.
Yeah.
So
Fair.
it's its own character, and since we know that running away from battle is very much what you do in this sometimes, as opposed to.
Well, see, that's
D&D.
what I was really, really interested to see what you guys were going to do with that charlatan there.
Mhm.